begin with this. The world responds not to the faint-hearted, but to those who radiate expectancy, who walk into every situation believing, knowing that something great is destined for them. That is not arrogance. That is alignment with one of the greatest truths of achievement. What you expect, you tend to attract. This is the law that has shaped the fortunes of all who have ever risen from obscurity to wealth, from mediocrity to distinction. And so, I do not waste time whispering encouragement. I deliver you a mandate. Train your mind to expect abundance if you wish to receive it. A man's aura is not mystical vapor, nor a fanciful illusion, but the collective expression of his habitual thoughts, his persistent beliefs, and the emotional tone with which he meets each hour. Every thought you choose is an ingredient in this invisible magnet. If you fill your mind with anxiety, self-doubt, or visions of lack, your aura repels riches. If you charge your consciousness with expectancy, an unshakable certainty that good is on its way, you command the very forces that determine your destiny. Too many walk through life with a mental posture of apology, expecting only scraps and setbacks, and so that is precisely what the world delivers to them unfailingly. You have seen it. The individual with the confident gaze and firm handshake attracts opportunities that seem to elude others. Doors open, strangers offer support, ideas flow, solutions appear. Why? Because expectancy is a subtle broadcast that influences everyone and everything it touches. When you truly expect to win, the world conspires to make you right. It is not magic, but the higher mathematics of the mind. The aura of expectancy is forged in the crucible of your inner conversation, the dialogue that runs through your head when no one is watching. If you wish to change your outcomes, you must first change your expectations. Where does this process begin? It starts with vigilance over your self-talk. Every day, countless thoughts attempt to plant themselves in the fertile soil of your mind. Most are inherited from others. Parents, teachers, society at large, many of whom were chronic doubters. Reject what does not serve your highest vision. Expectancy is not wishful thinking, but a discipline. You must practice it, guard it, and fortify it. Each morning, affirm with conviction that today something prosperous will happen for you. When setbacks appear, do not surrender your expectation. Instead, double down. The universe is not testing you, it is teaching you persistence. People often ask, isn't it foolish to expect good when the world is full of challenges? No, it is foolish to expect failure and then blame fate for the result. The greatest achievers understood that circumstances are the clay, but expectancy is the sculptor. Look closely at anyone who has created extraordinary wealth or success, and you will find, without exception, a person who maintained high expectations even in the face of ridicule or adversity. Expectancy does not deny reality. It shapes reality. Consider for a moment your own habitual thoughts. Are you preparing for disappointment or preparing for victory? When you enter a meeting, do you expect to make an impact or brace for indifference? When you pursue a goal, do you anticipate obstacles or outcomes? Your life, at this very moment, is the sum total of what you have consistently expected for yourself. If that truth stings, let it ignite you. Your future need not resemble your past unless you choose to expect the same. Expectation is not a passive state. It must be backed by action, yes, but first by vision. The mind is the garden, expectancy is the seed. No farmer would plant thistles and hope for wheat, yet most people fill their minds with doubt and hope for fortune. Such contradiction is fatal to success. You must become ruthless in eradicating every expectation that sabotages your potential. Replace it with the disciplined conviction that you are worthy, capable, and destined for abundance. Not someday, now. The aura of expectancy is reinforced through repetition and ritual. What you focus on expands. Begin your days declaring to yourself the prosperity you are moving toward, not the troubles you are fleeing. Visualize yourself already in possession of your desires. Speak about your future as if it were already unfolding. Do not wait for external evidence to believe. Create the evidence by believing first. This is how leaders, inventors, magnates, and legends have always operated. Their inner world set the tone, and the outer world eventually complied. Guard your associations. Surround yourself with people who expect more, not less, from life. The expectations of those around you seep into your own consciousness, for better or worse. If you wish to cultivate an aura of expectancy, do not tolerate cynicism or small-mindedness in your circle. Associate with those who speak of possibilities, not impossibilities. If you cannot find such people, become one, and soon you will attract others. Notice, too, that those who possess this aura are not blind to adversity. They simply refuse to dwell on it. When disappointment arises, they extract the lesson and reassert their expectation of eventual triumph. You can train your mind to respond in the same way. Make it a habit to reinterpret setbacks as setups for your next advancement. Every challenge contains a seed of equivalent or greater opportunity, but only if you expect to find it. Commit to this. For the next 30 days, act as if you are incapable of failure. Walk, talk, and conduct your affairs with the expectation that circumstances will yield to your desire. Observe the reactions you receive, the shifts in your relationships, the unexpected opportunities that begin to surface. What you will discover is that the world reflects back the vibration you project. Expectancy is the force that shapes your experience. You must understand, expectancy is not arrogance, nor is it delusion. It is a form of faith in action. When you expect the best, you align your subconscious mind with creative solutions, inspired ideas, and magnetic energy. You become more resourceful, more resilient, more attractive to opportunity. Doubt is a leak in your aura. Patch it quickly with renewed conviction. Whenever you feel yourself slipping into old habits of worry, snap out of it with a declaration. I expect the best, and I am prepared to receive it. If you wish to prosper, stop entertaining defeat in your inner sanctuary. Each time you visualize defeat, you rehearse for failure. Each time you visualize triumph, you prepare for victory. Your subconscious mind is always listening, always obedient. Feed it the expectation of abundance, and it will mobilize every faculty you possess toward realizing that end. You are never a victim of circumstances, only of expectations. The stories you tell yourself and the standards you set are the blueprints by which your future is built. Refuse to permit external events to dictate what you expect. Insist upon your right to expect success, wealth, health, and happiness. You are the captain of your soul, the master of your destiny, the architect of your future. Own it. The transformation does not come by accident. It is the daily, hourly, moment-to-moment discipline of choosing expectancy over resignation, of believing in growth over stagnation. This is not a one-time act, but a lifelong stance. Let your mind become a beacon for possibility. In every interaction, in every plan, in every challenge, assert your expectation of success, not for show, but as a declaration of intent to yourself and to the universe. Do not merely hope for wealth, expect it. Do not timidly wish for opportunity, expect it to seek you out. The more you fortify your mind with this unwavering expectation, the more your aura becomes a beacon that draws the resources, people, and chances that align with your vision. Remember, the world always makes room for those who know where they are going and expect to arrive. You have a choice: to continue living as a beggar at the banquet of life, or to enter boldly, expecting your place at the table. The aura of expectancy is not a luxury. It is a requirement. Cultivate it, strengthen it, and let it define you. In doing so, you will discover that riches in all their forms have been seeking you all along, waiting for you to expect them. Once expectancy has been planted in the mind, it must be conditioned until it becomes instinctive. This is where most people fail, not because they lack desire, but because they lack mental stamina. They expect abundance one day and expect disappointment the next. Such inconsistency weakens the aura and confuses the forces that respond to it. Expectancy must become your default setting, not a temporary mood. It must persist through delays, criticism, silence, and uncertainty. Only then does it mature into a power that cannot be ignored. The subconscious mind does not respond to occasional enthusiasm. It responds to dominant, repeated impressions. Whatever you repeatedly expect with emotional intensity becomes your subconscious command. This is why a person who has long expected little from life struggles to suddenly accept abundance. Their inner programming rejects it as unfamiliar. Your task, therefore, is not merely to desire riches, but to normalize them in your thinking. You must become so accustomed to expecting success that failure feels unnatural and temporary. Observe how expectancy alters behavior. A person who expects success prepares differently. They speak differently. They invest effort differently. They show up early, stay engaged longer, and recover faster from setbacks. None of this is forced. It flows naturally from expectation. This is why expectancy is far more powerful than motivation. Motivation is emotional and fleeting. Expectancy is structural. It reshapes how you think, plan, and act without constant effort. The world responds first to attitude, then to action. When you carry an aura of expectancy, people sense reliability, confidence, and direction in you. They trust you more readily. Opportunities gravitate toward you because you appear prepared to handle them. This is not coincidence. It is cause and effect. Employers promote those who expect responsibility. Investors back those who expect growth. Clients buy from those who expect value. Expectancy signals readiness. One of the greatest enemies of expectancy is comparison. When you measure your progress against others, you dilute your own vision. Expectancy must be personal and internal. It cannot depend on how fast someone else is moving or how much someone else has achieved. Your only obligation is to remain faithful to your own expectation of progress. Comparison breeds doubt, and doubt poisons the aura. Replace comparison with concentration. Focus inward. Focus forward. You must also understand that expectancy does not eliminate hardship. It gives hardship meaning. Those who expect success interpret difficulty as refinement rather than rejection. They ask different questions. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" they ask, "What is this shaping me for?" This shift alone transforms struggle into strength. When your mind expects growth, even pain becomes productive. Faith and expectancy are inseparable. Faith is expectancy without visible evidence. It is the decision to trust your inner vision over external noise. Every great achievement began as an unseen expectation held firmly in the mind of one individual. The world laughed, doubted, resisted, and eventually surrendered. Why? Because expectancy sustained effort long enough for results to appear. Those who quit early lacked expectancy, not talent. Your daily habits either reinforce or erode expectancy. What you read, what you listen to, what you dwell upon, all of it matters. A steady diet of fear-based information weakens your mental posture. If you constantly consume stories of failure, scarcity, and collapse, do not be surprised when your expectations shrink. Guard your mental intake with the same discipline you would guard your finances. Feed your mind ideas that expand possibility. Language is another powerful tool. Words shape expectation. When you speak casually about limitation, you train your subconscious to accept it. Eliminate phrases that reinforce doubt. Replace them with language that affirms progress and potential. Speak as someone who is moving forward, even if the steps are small. The subconscious mind takes your words literally. Use them wisely. Expectancy also demands patience. Not passive waiting, but confident persistence. Many abandon expectancy because results do not appear on their timetable. They forget that the unseen often requires time to organize itself into form. A seed does not sprout the moment it is planted, yet no farmer doubts the harvest once the process is underway. Expectancy understands timing without surrendering belief. There will be moments when expectancy is tested, when rejection arrives, when plans collapse, when effort seems unrewarded. These moments are decisive. They reveal whether expectancy is genuine or merely emotional optimism. When disappointment comes, reaffirm your expectation deliberately. Speak it aloud if necessary. Reclaim your mental ground. Expectancy that survives disappointment becomes unbreakable. You must also detach expectancy from specific pathways. Expect results, not rigid routes. Many miss opportunities because they expect success to arrive in only one form. Remain open. The universe often delivers abundance through unexpected channels. Expectancy is flexible in method but firm in outcome. It knows the destination without insisting on the road. As expectancy strengthens, you will notice a shift within yourself. Anxiety decreases. Confidence steadies. Decision-making improves. You stop chasing approval and begin attracting alignment. This inner stability is the true wealth magnet. External riches follow inner order. When your mind is calm and expectant, you move with clarity rather than desperation. People trust clarity. Eventually, expectancy becomes identity. You no longer try to expect success, you are someone who expects it. This is the point at which effort becomes lighter and progress accelerates. You are no longer fighting resistance, you are cooperating with a higher order of cause and effect. Life begins to meet you halfway. Understand this clearly. Expectancy does not replace work, it multiplies its effectiveness. Two people can exert the same effort, yet the one who expects success extracts greater results. Expectancy sharpens perception. It helps you notice openings others overlook. It aligns intuition with action. It keeps you engaged when others drift. You are always training your expectancy, whether consciously or not. Every reaction you have to events reinforces a belief about what you deserve and what is possible. Choose your reactions carefully. Respond as someone who expects progress. Act as someone who anticipates solutions. Think as someone who knows growth is inevitable. Let expectancy become your silent partner in every endeavor. Carry it into conversations, negotiations, creative work, and planning. Let it inform how you carry yourself and how you recover from mistakes. Over time, expectancy compounds. What once required conscious effort becomes natural confidence. You will know your aura has changed when opportunities begin to find you without pursuit, when resistance decreases, when people remark on your presence, when setbacks no longer derail you. These are signs that expectancy has become embedded in your being. At that point, riches are no longer a distant goal but a predictable outcome. The mind that expects abundance does not beg for chance, it prepares for inevitability. Hold fast to that posture. Protect it. Strengthen it daily. Expectancy is not fragile when it is rooted in discipline and faith. It becomes an unshakable force. And as expectancy deepens, it prepares you for an even greater realization. The understanding that riches are not attracted by effort alone, but by alignment between thought, belief, and action. This alignment is where true power resides, and once established, it carries you forward with momentum that no obstacle can permanently resist. To harness the aura of expectancy and turn it into a magnetic force for riches, you must deliberately confront and reshape the beliefs that live beneath your conscious desires. This means recognizing that every mental habit, whether supportive or self-sabotaging, has been trained by repetition. If you expect failure, it is because you have been rehearsing it in your thoughts, sometimes for years. The only way to turn this pattern around is to introduce a new mental script, one where your success is not just possible, but inevitable. This requires the discipline to catch yourself in moments of doubt and to replace that doubt with unwavering certainty. Do not let the mind wander aimlessly. Every day, direct it toward a vision of what you want to attract. Write down your goals, but more importantly, write down the expectation that you will achieve them. Reread these statements every morning and night. The subconscious cannot tell the difference between reality and imagination. It only knows what you impress upon it. So impress it with certainty. Let your words, tone, and posture reflect a person who knows success is on its way. This is not wishful thinking. It is deliberate conditioning. Refuse to dwell in environments that contradict your new standard. If you spend your days surrounded by those who expect little, you will unconsciously lower your own expectations to match theirs. Surround yourself with energy that expands your vision, not shrinks it. Read biographies of those who rose above their circumstances through sheer expectancy. Listen to voices that challenge you to think bigger, not settle for less. The mind is porous. It absorbs whatever you feed it. Protect it as you would your most valuable possession. There will be moments when the evidence of your progress is invisible. The results you desire will seem distant. This is where most people abandon their aura of expectancy and fall back into doubt. They tell themselves, maybe it wasn't meant for me. This is an unforgivable mistake. When nothing seems to be happening on the outside, you must double your efforts on the inside. Renew your expectation, deepen your belief, and remind yourself that all progress is first invisible. The universe must reconfigure circumstances before it delivers results. Your job is to hold the mental line until that happens. Never beg for opportunity. The person who begs admits lack. The person who expects attracts. Notice the difference in energy when you approach life from expectancy versus neediness. Neediness repels, expectancy invites. When you enter a negotiation, expect a positive outcome. When you apply for a position, expect to be chosen. When you invest in a new venture, expect your wisdom to produce returns. Let this mindset become your armor. Understand also that expectancy is not about arrogance or entitlement. It is about preparation and receptivity. Expectancy prepares the mind to recognize and seize opportunities others miss. It opens your awareness to subtle cues, synchronistic encounters, and creative solutions. The world is full of doors waiting to open for those who approach them with expectancy rather than hesitation. Discipline yourself to check your attitude throughout the day. Ask, what am I expecting right now? If you catch yourself anticipating trouble, correct your posture. Do it immediately, before doubt roots itself. Expect the best, but prepare for every outcome. This is the balance that keeps you grounded but never defeated. Preparation without expectancy leads to busy work. Expectancy without preparation leads to disappointment. Together, they form a formula for inevitable success. The spoken word is a transmitter of expectation. Every time you articulate your intention, you set invisible wheels in motion. Do not poison your progress with careless speech. When someone asks about your plans, do not respond with uncertainty or apology. Say, I am moving forward. Say, I am preparing for a breakthrough. Say, I expect results. Speak with conviction. Even if no one else believes, your words are primarily for your subconscious mind, and it is listening. You must also understand that the aura of expectancy is not only for wealth. It affects every area of life. Health, relationships, creativity, influence, peace of mind. Expect healing, and your body responds to it. Expect harmony, and your interactions improve. Expect inspiration, and your mind becomes fertile ground for ideas. Your expectations become the seeds that produce your harvest. One of the most misunderstood aspects of expectancy is its connection to resilience. People believe that expecting the best means never experiencing setbacks. The truth is that expectancy gives you the strength to interpret setbacks as temporary and instructive rather than fatal. When you expect ultimate victory, every defeat becomes a lesson, not a verdict. This is the secret of those who persist where others give up. They see obstacles as necessary ingredients in their final triumph. To further train your aura, practice visualization with emotional intensity. Do not merely picture your goal. Feel what it is like to have achieved it. Engage all your senses. See the environment, hear the sounds, feel the emotions. Let this experience become so familiar that it feels inevitable. When you do this consistently, your subconscious mind cannot help but align your actions, words, and instincts with your vision. Life then bends itself to your expectations. You will face cynics. They will call your expectancy delusion or arrogance. Pay them no mind. The cynic is the person who expects failure and calls it realism. Their results speak for themselves. Your job is not to argue or convince, but to demonstrate through your living example. When your aura begins to attract opportunities, even your critics will notice, though few will admit it openly. Invest in your own progress. Spend time, energy, and resources, sharpening your skills and increasing your value. Expectancy without self-improvement is self-deception. The more you invest in your mind, body, and character, the more you will expect and the more you will attract. Do not wait for life to improve before you raise your expectations. Raise your standards first and watch how life scrambles to keep up. Let each day be a rehearsal of your expectancy. Begin your morning by declaring, today I expect favor. I expect growth. I expect opportunity. Repeat it until your tone matches your conviction. End your day by reviewing evidence of progress, no matter how small. Celebrate every victory as a confirmation of your expectation. This daily rhythm will make expectancy a permanent fixture in your consciousness. If you are struggling to maintain expectancy, examine your environment for subtle saboteurs. These may include pessimistic friends, negative news, unfulfilling routines, or even your own self-talk. Remove what you can and neutralize what you cannot by increasing your mental discipline. Replace external noise with affirming voices and constructive activities. Build an inner sanctuary where only your highest expectations are allowed to thrive. The aura of expectancy also transforms your body language. Stand taller. Look people in the eye. Move with purpose. The world responds to those who appear to know where they are going. Posture is not vanity. It is an outward sign of inward certainty. When you act as if success is inevitable, others begin to act accordingly. As you progress, keep an expectancy journal. Record your expectations and the results they produce. Note the days when expectancy was high and what happened as a result. Likewise, observe when doubt crept in and what it attracted. Over time, this record will prove to you the cause and effect relationship between your mental posture and your results. It will serve as a reminder in difficult seasons and as a testimony in times of triumph. Let there be no confusion. Expectancy is not superstition or naive optimism. It is a practical, proven law of achievement. It is the mindset that distinguishes the successful from the average. Anyone can hope. Anyone can wish. But only a few choose to expect, and it is to these few that life grants its greatest rewards. You are the architect of your aura. You decide what you will expect, how you will prepare, and how you will persist. The process may be gradual, but the results will be unmistakable. In the end, your life will always rise or fall to the level of your deepest expectations. Expect greatly, prepare thoroughly, persist relentlessly, and you will find that riches in every sense cannot resist your call. If you are determined to create a magnetic aura of expectancy, you must go beyond wishful thinking and daydreaming. Most men and women live in mental limbo, hovering between hope and hesitation. But the mind that expects is not passive. It is alive, sharp, relentless in its pursuit of proof. You must become the architect of your own certainty, building your expectation brick by brick until it stands like a fortress against every doubt and every storm. It begins with self-observation. Every thought, every spoken word, every posture, every decision either feeds your expectancy or starves it. If you complain about circumstances, you are undermining your own magnetism. If you tolerate negative company, you are allowing others to rewrite your script with their limitations. You must be ruthless in eliminating these weak links. You are not obligated to carry the mental baggage of the world. Your first loyalty must be to the vision you are determined to bring into reality. Next, realize that expectancy is a force that grows through ritual and discipline. The mind, left to its own devices, will drift into old patterns. You must seize control every morning. Upon waking, declare aloud what you expect of the day. Do it with authority. Feel it resonate in your chest. Visualize the events, the people, the opportunities you expect to encounter. This is not a vain exercise. It is the deliberate tuning of your mental instrument. The more often you play the melody of success, the more fluent you become. As you go through your day, catch yourself when your expectation wavers. The call you dreaded, the challenge you did not want, these are your moments of testing. Stop and remind yourself, I am a magnet for the best outcomes. I expect doors to open. Let that expectation guide your responses. Speak as if your desires are already materializing. Act as if your victory is certain. This posture alone will transform how people respond to you, how events unfold around you. Now, let us address fear. It is the most insidious enemy of expectancy. Fear whispers in the night, paralyzes in the day, and persuades you to expect less, to settle for less, to shrink your ambitions. You must treat fear like an intruder. Do not negotiate, do not rationalize, expel it on sight. Replace fear with purposeful action. If you are afraid of failing, expect to learn and improve, not to shrink and retreat. If you are afraid of criticism, expect to outgrow the need for validation. If you fear rejection, expect to become irresistible by sheer force of confidence and character. No one succeeds alone, but you must be selective about whose company you keep. Seek those who expect greatness of themselves and of you. Iron sharpens iron. When two people with high expectancy meet, their energy multiplies. Form alliances, but never dependencies. Your aura must stand on its own feet. Remember, you are not here to be a shadow in someone else's dream. You are here to cast your own light, to be a standard by which others measure their own expectations. This is why you must guard against the small compromises. It is easy to say, just this once, to lower your standards when no one is looking. But your subconscious is always watching. Every small betrayal is a message. I do not really expect to win. Over time, these messages accumulate and erode your inner power. Do not tolerate mediocrity, not even in secret. Let your expectation be so fierce that even your private thoughts are forced to comply. There is a hidden power in persistence. Every time you persist in the face of setbacks, you reinforce your expectation that nothing can stop you. The world tests those who claim to expect great things. If you run at the first sign of resistance, you have failed the test. Persist. Knock on the door until your knuckles bleed if you must, but do not turn back. Let your endurance prove your seriousness to yourself and to life itself. Remember, the world reflects not just what you want, but what you expect, demand, and refuse to live without. This is the difference between people who attract abundance and those who only dream of it. The expectant person commands attention and opportunity. When you expect to prosper, your energy shifts. Your body language, tone of voice, and decisions all communicate silent power. Others feel it, and they respond, often without knowing why. Do not mistake expectancy for entitlement. The expectant man prepares, improves, and adapts. The entitled man waits for luck to deliver him. Expectancy is a contract you sign with yourself, backed by action and reinforced by every challenge you overcome. If the world says no, expect to find another way. If doors close, expect to build your own. If opportunity is absent, expect to create it by solving problems others are afraid to face. Let's examine the role of repetition in building expectancy. Habits are nothing but repeated expectations acted out over time. If you want to change your destiny, change your daily rituals. Start small, but be relentless. Set a standard for your mornings, your work, your relationships, your investments, your learning. Make each area of your life reflect your highest expectation. Excellence in small things creates momentum for the big things. Each small win fuels your belief that greater wins are inevitable. Now, consider the influence of environment. Your surroundings speak to your subconscious. If your home, your workspace, your routines, are cluttered, neglected, and unworthy of a champion, you are sending a message that you expect chaos, not clarity. Order your environment to reflect the success you are calling in. Dress, speak, and carry yourself in a manner worthy of your vision. People are drawn to those who look and act as if they expect to be at the top. Expectancy also influences timing. Most men fail not for lack of talent, but for lack of timing. They wait until the right moment to act. The expectant mind knows that opportunity does not arrive on schedule. It is summoned by those ready to receive it. Prepare relentlessly and expect your opening at any moment. When it comes, move with decisive force. The window of opportunity does not wait for the hesitant. A word on setbacks. They are inevitable. But the expectant mind interprets them as proof that a breakthrough is near. The greatest tests always precede the greatest gains. If you are struggling, do not lower your expectations. Raise your preparation and intensify your persistence. See each failure as a stepping stone, each disappointment as a lesson in disguise. The more fiercely you hold to your expectation in adversity, the sooner the tides will turn. Never let another's skepticism shake your conviction. The world is full of those who expect little and get it, who predict doom and reap it. Their fate is not yours. Shield your mind from the cynic's poison. Let your success be your answer. The more you expect, the more you attract, and the more you attract, the more others will scramble to explain your results. Let them talk. You are busy building a legacy. To cement your aura of expectancy, invest in lifelong learning. A mind that expects great things must be equipped to handle them. Read widely. Learn new skills. Challenge your assumptions. Expect to grow, not just to win. When you outgrow your old self, you become a magnet for opportunities that never would have found the person you once were. Finally, remember, true expectancy is not passive, but active. It is a demand you place on life and yourself. It is the refusal to settle, the hunger to grow, and the unbreakable faith that you are meant for more. When you step into this posture, you will find that doors open where there were only walls. Life will rise to meet the standard you set, and riches in every form will follow your lead. The further you travel on this road of expectancy, the more vital it becomes to master your internal dialogue. Your inner conversation is the seed of every outcome you harvest. Listen carefully to the words you use when no one is watching. Are they words that breathe life into your ambition, or do they wither it? Stop excusing failure. Stop explaining away smallness. Stop cursing your circumstances. The universe does not respond to complaints. It responds to the unshakable voice inside you that says, I expect better, and I will not rest until I receive it. One of the most neglected truths is that expectation does not require external permission. If you wait for applause, you will remain waiting forever. Decide now that you are worthy of the best life has to offer. This is not arrogance. It is an act of courage, the highest respect for your own potential. Dignity is the armor of the expectant. Walk into every room, every opportunity, every challenge as though you belong, because you do. You have the power to write your own invitation to the feast of life. You must recognize, too, the silent power of detachment. Paradoxical as it may seem, those who expect success without being desperate for it command greater respect from both men and fate. When you cling too tightly to results, you project neediness and repel opportunity. The expectant person is calm, centered, confident in their preparation, and serene in their pursuit. They understand that the true power is not in chasing, but in attracting. You do not need to grab life by the throat. You only need to radiate the certainty that you will be fed. Let us talk about self-investment. The world mirrors back the value you place on yourself. Never expect more from life than you are willing to demand from yourself. Your skills, your appearance, your health, your reputation, these are all signals you send out into the world, and the world answers in kind. If you treat your mind like a garden, weeding out mediocrity and planting seeds of excellence, it will bear fruit that astonishes not only your peers, but even you. Never cheapen your dreams. Pay the price in discipline, effort, and sacrifice. In relationships, do not compromise your standard. The aura of expectancy is contagious, but so is the virus of defeatism. If your inner circle does not rise to meet your expectation, you must distance yourself until your influence is the dominant force. This is not selfishness. It is survival. You owe it to your destiny to create an environment where greatness is normal, not the exception. Remember, when you expect the best from others, you invite them to rise to heights they never imagined. Take control of your narrative. Others will try to define you by your past, your failures, or even their own limitations. Refuse their labels. The expectant person rewrites their story every day. If yesterday was defeat, today is resurgence. If the world tells you who you are, answer back with who you intend to become. Expectancy turns every moment into an opportunity for reinvention. Do not seek permission to evolve. Your potential is not static. It grows in proportion to your expectation. Let us not forget the tremendous influence of gratitude. Expectancy and gratitude are not enemies, but allies. To be grateful for what you have does not mean you are satisfied to remain as you are. True gratitude is the platform from which you reach higher. Each morning, thank life for the opportunities ahead as if they are already yours. This is not delusion. It is the conscious programming of your mind to anticipate good fortune, to notice openings, and to act on them. Discipline is the backbone of expectancy. When you decide what you expect from life, you must back that expectation with unwavering discipline. This means saying no to distraction, no to excuses, no to short-term pleasures that sabotage long-term gains. Train your focus until your mind becomes a heat-seeking missile, locked onto your vision. Let no triviality knock you off course. Consistency in action builds a reputation not just with others, but with yourself. When you see yourself following through, your confidence multiplies. The world trusts the man who trusts himself. Now, face the reality of setbacks. If you truly expect greatness, you must also expect adversity. Life will test your commitment, not to break you, but to refine you. Each setback is a mirror. Do you flinch, or do you double down on your purpose? The expectant individual turns obstacles into stepping stones, setbacks into stories of comeback. Do not curse the difficulty. Thank it, for it sharpens your mind, tests your resolve, and prepares you for the responsibilities of success. Expand your vision beyond the immediate. Expectancy is not confined to one goal or project. It is a way of seeing the world. Expect to learn from every encounter, to profit from every failure, to find opportunity in the most unlikely places. When you carry this mindset, you become immune to the cynicism and apathy that infects the masses. You are not a spectator in the drama of life. You are the playwright, the director, and the star. Money, power, influence, these are byproducts of expectancy, not its purpose. The true reward is mastery of self. When you can expect without doubt the fulfillment of your vision, you become unstoppable. People, resources, circumstances, all conspire to help the man who knows where he is going and refuses to settle for anything less. Your aura becomes so charged with intention that others cannot help but notice. Cultivate patience. In a world of instant gratification, the one who expects and endures stands apart. Most people abandon their dreams at the first sign of difficulty. The expectant person understands that time is an ally, not an enemy. The longer you persist, the more formidable you become. Do not rush the process. Trust it. The universe does not operate on your schedule. It rewards those who are relentless, those who refuse to lower their standards while they wait. Maintain a record of your victories, no matter how small. Each win is evidence that your expectancy is working. Write them down, review them often, and let them fuel your ambition. When doubt creeps in, remind yourself of what you have already achieved. You did not come this far to stop now. Use your past success as proof that greater things are on the horizon. Build momentum from every achievement and let your confidence compound. Challenge yourself daily. Expectancy is not a destination but a practice. Set higher goals as soon as you reach the current ones. Refuse to become complacent. The moment you settle, your aura weakens and opportunity drifts away. Keep stretching your limits, both in thought and action. Be relentless in your pursuit of better. Your future self is counting on the standards you set today. Lastly, never forget that expectancy is a gift you give yourself. No one can bestow it upon you. It is a declaration of your worth, a contract with your future, a shield against mediocrity, and a sword to cut through adversity. The world will try to distract you, diminish you, and discourage you. Stand firm. Let your expectancy blaze like a beacon, guiding you through every storm and illuminating the path to the riches you are destined to claim. The time to expect more is now, because, in truth, you were never meant for less. Victory in the game of wealth does not belong to the hesitant or the doubter. It is reserved for those who expect greatness so relentlessly that failure itself surrenders before them. As you approach the final lap in this journey, the question is no longer, is success possible for me? The real question is, how can I make the energy of my expectation so undeniable that the universe can only bow and deliver? You must now become the master craftsman of your own destiny, chipping away at every last piece of self-doubt, sharpening every edge of your ambition, and pouring certainty into every cell of your being. Your aura is not invisible to the world. Every interaction, every handshake, every introduction silently reveals your self-belief. People feel the force of your conviction before you speak. They sense whether you expect doors to open or brace for rejection. Opportunity doesn't just favor the bold. It is magnetized by the individual who radiates unspoken confidence. When you walk with the attitude of I belong, I expect, I attract, the gates of possibilities swing wide. Do not disguise your desire. Declare it inwardly with such strength that it reshapes the very fabric of your life. You must now integrate expectancy into every daily action until it becomes your second nature. Expect abundance when you wake. Expect to see opportunities where others see obstacles. Expect your mind to find solutions, even when the answers seem lost. Build rituals of expectancy. Start each morning by affirming what you intend to receive from the day, and end each night reflecting on how the day has proven your power to attract. Don't let a single hour pass without choosing your state of mind with intention. This is not fantasy. It is deliberate conditioning, rewiring the circuits of your consciousness until your thoughts and your results align. Beware the temptation to return to mediocrity. There will be moments when the old habits and the limited thinking of your past try to reclaim you. Fight back with expectation. When the doubters raise their voices, drown them out with your certainty. When delays and disappointments threaten to erode your resolve, remind yourself that setbacks are simply detours on the road to inevitable victory. Do not let temporary defeat become a permanent identity. Burn into your mind the vision of your ultimate achievement and hold it so vividly that you cannot be seduced by compromise. The next phase is learning to hold your expectation unwaveringly in the presence of chaos. True power is revealed not when conditions are perfect, but when storms, rage, and uncertainty is everywhere. Expectancy is not a fragile thing. It is a force of nature. When the world shakes, the expectant man stands calm at the center, knowing that every shake, every tremor, is merely life rearranging itself to meet his inner standard. Develop an unbreakable patience. Understand that time is your silent partner, not your adversary. The seeds you plant with expectation may take longer to bloom than you wish, but they are always germinating below the surface. You must also understand that the aura of expectancy expands far beyond your personal goals. It affects every life you touch. When you expect greatness from yourself, you become a beacon for others who have lost their way. Your certainty gives them permission to believe in their own possibility. The ripple of your expectation can transform entire organizations, families, and communities. Never underestimate the invisible leadership you provide by simply refusing to entertain the language of limitation. Commit, at this stage, to tracking your influence. Take note of the moments when your presence lifts the energy in the room. Observe how doors begin to open that were once sealed. Notice how people are drawn to you, not because of what you say, but because of what you believe and project. This is not luck. It is the natural law of attraction responding to the frequency of your expectation. Document these shifts and use them as evidence that you are becoming a living magnet for wealth and opportunity. As you move forward, sharpen your sense of discernment. There is a difference between mere wishing and true expectancy. Wishing is passive, an idle hope that fortune will fall in your lap. Expectancy is active, a living force that shapes your decisions, raises your standards, and compels you to act as the person you want to become. The expectant mind is never idle. It seizes the moment, speaks with conviction, and acts with purpose. Cut the cords of indecision. Every minute spent in doubt is a minute lost from your future success. Make no apologies for your ambition. The world is quick to shame those who desire more, but wealth has always followed those who were unafraid to demand it. There is nothing noble in shrinking your vision to please the timid. Stand tall. Own your desires openly, first in the privacy of your own heart, then in your actions, and finally in your interactions with the world. Watch as those who once doubted you fall silent in the presence of your results. Turn your attention to self-renewal. Expectancy must be constantly refreshed. Do not let yesterday's victories become today's resting place. Every day is an opportunity to upgrade your mental software. Read, learn, seek new mentors, and expose yourself to bigger thinkers. Challenge your own boundaries. Refuse the comfort of routine if it breeds stagnation. Make every sunrise a summons to higher achievement and every sunset a review of progress. This is the discipline of the wealthy, the constant, hungry expansion of what is possible. Most of all, do not hide your expectancy. Let it color your words, shape your choices, and define your presence. Speak your goals out loud with clarity and pride. Let the world adjust to the vibration you send out, not the other way around. Your environment will either rise or shrink to match your expectation. Refuse to adapt to mediocrity. Adapt the world to your intention. If there are moments when you falter, remember, expectation can be renewed in an instant. One decision, One new thought, one bold action is all it takes to return to the frequency of success. The greatest mistake you can make is to surrender your expectation to circumstance. Circumstances are malleable. They bend to the will of a mind that is certain of its outcome. The era of maybe is over. You now know that the aura of expectancy is not a mystical concept, but a practical, daily tool for wealth creation and fulfillment. It is both shield and spear, defense against doubt and the driving force toward your destiny. Use it. Own it. Let it consume every hesitation and replace it with clarity. From this day forward, walk as though your future is certain, because it is, if you demand it so. The riches you seek have always been waiting, searching for the man or woman bold enough to expect them without apology, without hesitation, and without end. Now, move into the world. Carry this aura as your banner. Act, speak, and think as the master of your fate. The game is yours, if you are ready to expect nothing less